Hey everybody, it's been a very long time since I've done one of these videos. My right arrow there is again gently suggesting to check out the clickable items on the right side because this is a ad-supported website and I appreciate any interest in our sponsors. So thanks for that. Turning our attention to charts. Well, the relentless rise, which in retrospect we know clearly began back on July 6th of this year, continues. The first half of this year was this crazy nutty tease, and the second half of the year has been basically completely owned by the bulls, particularly since August 31. If I ever visit Jackson Hole, I think I'll burn the place down because that is a location that is forever etched in my memory negatively. But let's turn this around and be positive. We're going to talk about longs as a change of pace. I have been of late balancing my multitudinous short positions with long positions that I like, and it's been getting easier to find longs that I have some appreciation for. Some I kind of hold my nose at the company, but the chart itself is pretty enticing, and so I just wanted to thumb through these and give you a taste of what I'm long and in some cases why. So let's get started. Here's the first one, and this is a real hold your noser. This is AIG. I've mentioned this before, but stinkiness or not, this is a very nice pattern, and we've been approaching this very important line here at 55.90. Crossing that one, I think, would produce some real fireworks. So shout out to the Hun, who, whether seriously or not, has been talking about financials being rather appealing. There's definitely some instances of that. Here is AN AutoNation, which incredibly was a $5 stock back in October of 08, and it's been steadily climbing. Had a very nice breakout above this level that I'm pointing toward. And I keep these on a very tight leash. I mean, I'm long these, but the stops I'm giving them are not generous at all. My trust in them isn't that great, so very tight stops. Here's one I've mentioned any number of times, and even though it's had quite a run, it still just seems to keep running. This is AWI, Armstrong World, and again, updating my stops on this very frequently, pretty much on a daily basis, but very nice pattern, and the sort of pattern which over the long haul could really lead to some incredible returns. AXU, kind of a similar idea here. AYE, this one a little sloppier, but I like what's going on here. And if we can break above 2401, I think that could spell some very interesting things for this pattern. I think it would really set the stock on fire at that point. Here's Cavium, which I've mentioned any number of times. Had a bit of a back trace, but starting to kind of shore up again. If we continue with the bullish run unabated in the new year, I think this is the kind of stock that'll really thrive and prosper. Here's CEDC, kind of taking advantage of a pretty sharp drop recently. I bought this one today. Very nice clean stop on this, and not a dynamite long-term pattern, but definitely one which might see its way back to this level and even perhaps a little beyond. CLC. Breakout to new lifetime high. Good looking chart there. CLH, even a better chart on this one. I like this quite a bit. Nothing dynamite on the volume side going on, but the fact that we've got a very pretty saucer pattern into lifetime highs is pretty attractive. Comcast, CMCSA. This broke out of this wedge, did a little bit of a trace back to this gap and started moving higher today. Here's CMP, very pretty cup with handle pattern there. Crocs, ugh, oh well, it just keeps going up. So yes, I own this one. I'll say again, at the risk of being a dead horse, very tight stops on these. CVI is the symbol for this one. It broke today above this 13.89 level. Viewing this with a little bit of suspicion, I could see it kind of getting back to the bottom of this trend line, but definitely not one of the best patterns here. This is one I like quite a bit. DFS, I've mentioned this before. This is Discover Financial Services. has stayed above that ascending trend line and has broken out of this fairly well-formed pattern here. DNN, it's too bad the stock is so cheap because commissions really add up to a stock this low priced, but the volume pickup has been really extraordinary on that mining company. FCFS, another nice breakout to lifetime highs here. Humana, we've got a inverted head and shoulders here, breakout, retrace, and then hopefully moving higher from that level. Here's Juniper, which I've actually been almost buying for way too long, and I finally pulled the trigger today. This one in a very attractive multi-year breakout. Here's the old favorite, LNG, another kind of cheapy stock, but one whose volume has picked up very substantially recently and that can really move in terms of percentages. So pick that up today. Here's a nice dividend stock, fairly conservative, Lorillard, LO, and got a nice cup with handle, breakout, retrace, picked it up today as well. Here's LUK, breaking above that particular trend line. Now, MasterCard and Visa really got whacked last week, so I kind of took advantage of the lower prices today because I see a nice base of support at these levels. So I picked up some MA today, and as you'll see at the end of this little talk, got some V as well. Here's NOG, which is this very big cup with handle, and a pretty handsome pickup in volume there too. This has been pretty strong, even with the whatever volatility we've had over the past few weeks. This has really been moving nicely to, again, lifetime highs. I always like to see that. Here's PCS, kind of sloppy, but had a nice day today, up nearly 6%. PetMart, a little bit more of a conservative one here, but the breakout here is from a 6-year basing pattern. So this is the kind of stock that can move for a while. Here's another rather conservative one, SBAC. Got a stop on this one at 38.94, but another clean breakout there. SNCR, we've had a little pickup in volume on this recently, and this one's a bit more of a sloppy one, but if we can stay above this line now, I think we'll be in good shape. This next one, SOA, is one which has been moving rather slowly lately, but it has been staying very nicely above this ascending trend line, and if it continues to do so, that one's a keeper. TCK, a little bit of softness today, but very substantial inverted head and shoulders with a push to lifetime highs not too long ago. Here's one that's sounds like a snoozer, but this is an extraordinarily well-run company. Target TGT. Again, we've got an extremely big inverted head and shoulders breaking out. Just a few more here to go. TSL, more of a speculative play here. The solars haven't been that well formed lately. This is one of the better ones. I've got a very tight stop here at 22.62 on TSL. Here's TTC Toro. Moving to just about lifetime highs today. USO, my only ETF that I own, and this is the only large long I've got. This one I've got a stop set to this low, 37.37. That, of course, is oil, and that's possibly going to push back toward this line, which is why I bought it today. And the last one, I believe, I mentioned is Visa, symbol V, for the same reasons cited earlier. Anyway, the rest of this week promises to be very, very quiet. No really major reports coming out. Thursday is a half-day trading, and Friday is closed completely. So I imagine it's going to be rather quiet out there, barring some kind of world event. But anyway, I've got 97 shorts and 34 longs, and I just wanted to show you the long side today to see what's cooking out there, because I do think this market definitely calls for some balance. Thanks for your attention. Hope some of these ideas are interesting, and I will see you on the slope.